Hey everyone, what's up? On this video, I want to talk about why people shit on Predator Hunting Grounds. And well, it's pretty much like the same reason why in any multiplayer game people shit. People want to win, people just want to have advantage over the other, people just want to have like the easiest time in the match, people like winning, and in multiplayer games you're playing against someone else and you don't like losing to someone else because it makes you feel bad and you want to feel good about yourself, you want to feel better than the other player. It's just like about human nature, the competitive human nature, in which not only goes in things in real life, but also in just video games in general. Like, winning makes you feel good. Winning makes you just feel better. You think that you're better than the other person if you manage to win over him, or like even if it's just a video game, even if it's like by shitting, even if it's not fair. People don't care. People just want to win, and video games are usually used for fun. And usually most people have more fun winning than losing, so that kind of explains it. But in my opinion, it's just weird that we have this kind of problem in Hunting Grounds. Not only because it's exactly like a competitive multiplayer game. If this was like a first-person shooter, like something like COD, whatever, like Counter-Strike, like a game that was like competitive and people like it's like a fair fight, like 4 guys against 4 guys, 8 guys against 8 guys, like a competitive multiplayer game, I would understand it. Like everybody's in the same level and everybody wants to look for an edge to give them a little advantage, and the game is really competitive, it's hard. But Predator Hunting Grounds is just a very kind of a silly asymmetrical multiplayer game, and I say silly because the balances are all over the place. Like the game was very poorly balanced by the company that made it, the developers. Iconic is just silly the way that they made it, and despite all the complaints, all the showcasing that of like people giving videos to Iconic showcasing how broken the balance on the game is, and how like it cannot be taken competitively exactly because of that, because it's not fair. The fighting is just completely overpowered, and so it's just like not fair against the Predator at all. Like the game was not balanced around like fairness or like a competitive manner. The fighting was just made overpowered, so that like even when you play in public games, which is most of the time people play public game alone, even if your teammates are very bad, you still have a chance against the Predator. So that's why kind of Iconic even admitted in one of their live streams like that they know that like most people that play the game are just potatoes. They know like your teammates are gonna be terrible at the game, and so you cannot rely on them against the Predator. So they kind of made fighting strong because of that. And when you have actually people that play together, it just breaks the game apart. So, and it's kind of like weird that like usually the group of people that shit on this game is specifically the fighting players, and that's like it's just like the game is already so easy to play as a fighting. You already have like all the possible advantage in the game, like that never seen before in any other asymmetrical multiplayer game. Sure, Dead by Daylight is kind of unbalanced. Survival has the advantage, but like a single survivor is probably gonna lose against a killer, even if it's a bad killer. Like eventually he's gonna lose. Like usually in a 1v1 situation, like he's probably gonna lose. In this game, like a very good fighting player can even take down like okay Predator players, even in 1v1, depending on the build. If the Predator player has like a high ping or if it's night map. So it's just awkward for me. The shitting on this game is just awkward for me because my first experience dealing with cheaters, actually actual hackers, was in a game called Combat Arms, which is pretty much like Counter-Strike. It's just like a first-person shooters. They also have like this zombie mode, which was I pretty much like only played that game because of this zombie mode with like infection game mode, where like you have like a few players starting as zombies, they have to infect everybody else. And in that game, hacking was crazy. People talking about hacking in this game, and like they have such low standards, you know. People see someone is spotting the Predator and just getting like a sniper shot, and they call it a hacker. And like you guys have no idea what actual hacking is, because my first experience with this game, Combat Arms, you have like people that are like they can one shot the whole entire enemy thing with headshots. Like you actually have actual hackers that can like shoot through walls. They have like aimbots and wall hacks, and they can like just shoot through a wall, and all the bullets are gonna go to the heads of the opposing team. And like you have like hackers that can kill like 15 players in 1 second, just can like kill everyone in the opposing team in 1 second. People with god mode, speed hack, like sure we have like some occasions like here in this game, but like in that game it was so much more common. And despite all the attempts of the company to deal with hackers, it didn't go anywhere. So like, but in that game it was actually like a game that was like kind of like people play almost fair, because there are like microtransactions. So like some people could just like get paid to win stuff, but still like it was like 8 players against 8 players. You know, everybody has like the same has the chances to get pretty much like the same kind of weapons, and like you have like everybody can have hit scan weapons, everybody is like around in the same level. Well, in this game, like I said, the balance is all screwed over. So fireteam players already have the advantage, but it's like never enough. Like people in this game are never gonna be satisfied until I said this like a long time ago. Fireteam players won't be satisfied until they can like kill Predator with one shot. It's which will happen with the Fnatic exploit shit. So like people are never satisfied. People just want to have such an easy time, and usually improving at the game can take a little bit of effort. And sometimes it requires you to be like just good in general, and sometimes it has to do a little bit with natural talent. Some people are just not built for it. Honestly, that's all there is to it. Some people are not very good at video games, but they still want to win, and they still want to like win against better players. So like they cannot play fair, so they just shit their way through it. And with the fighting gameplay, it's been something very common. Like people have on the fighting side always abused overpowered stuff into the balance in order to have a bigger advantage, even more. Like when the specializations were added, like the game was kind of more or less not balanced, but it was like more fair before specializations. Then when specializations came out, fireteam players could just like shit their way to victory by just like bringing like 4 support field medics. So it's already like a practice among fireteam mains to just like bring like overpowered stuff into the game to have like a free win, which pretty much like what it gives. So like if you're not good enough to play against the Predator, just bring 4 field medics and you're just probably gonna win like 99% of the time. Or bring Tracker on top of that. You have the Dante pay-to-win DLC class. So it's just like people just wanted to win no matter what. They don't care about a fair fight. That's the thing about this game. This game has never been about a fair fight. Shits or not. Even if people are using hacks, if people are using the gear exploit, the Fnatic exploit, people are using speed hack or this and that. Like, people don't care. They just want to win. And they don't care about a fair fight. It's just like a moral thing. Some people are kind of shitty. That's really all there is to it. They don't care whatever they're gonna give their opponent in a game, a fair fight or not, because they just want to win, even if it's at the expense of other people fun running the game experiencing for other players. Some people are just shitty, and like if they do this in a video game, like sure, does that mean that they're gonna do it in real life? I mean, in real life, sometimes doing certain like certain things is actually illegal or like you can get in trouble. But in video games, there is no real life consequence. I mean, this game, like, you don't even get banned on this game for that. In other games, people can get like worried about cheating or hacking because they can get their account banned. But in this game, there's no consequence. So I feel like it's a moral issue. Some people just don't have very good morals in regards to this. Some people are just shitty. That's pretty much it. Like some people just want to have an easy win. They want to win against people that play better than them just to feel good about themselves. And they're just kind of shitty. That's pretty much all there is to it. And they probably would do like a lot of bad things, a lot of like bad practice in real life. I don't doubt that at all, because they don't do it because like there's no consequences. But you really know about someone's morals when they can do something bad and there is like no consequences for it. That's when you know whether they're gonna do it or not, what kind of person they really are. If you want to know about a man's true nature, you either just giving opportunities that he can get away with doing things that are bad, doing things that are not fair with others, you know? Just give him like power. That's something that my parents used to tell me. That's how you know like how people really are. And some people in this game are just shitty, and like losing to a hacker, losing to people that shit on the game, like that's like, it's not playing fair. They are shitting at the game. Like it doesn't make them better. Like it just makes them shitty because they need to resort to doing that in order to win. And it has like, it's just a thing on this game. This game is like, for a lot of these people, this is the only game where they can have a decent win rate, because one, the game is unbalanced and they mostly play fighting on a premate, so they can have an easy high win rate because they're just playing the overpowered side, the side that is unbalanced towards, that is favored towards in the game. So like, this is the only game that these people can ever have a good win rate, and which is to do with the fact that the game is unbalanced. And some of them use hacks, some of them use exploits. This is like the only game where they can get away, because if you put them in an actual like real competitive multiplayer game, they're gonna get wrecked. They're not good players. Like these people can barely kill the Predator in this game. Like they have trouble. Like they need to bring like field medics, they need to bring Fnatic exploit, they need to bring so much broken, overpowered, unbalanced shit in order to play this game. Like in order to kill a Predator, which is like I call the Predator like this leaping punching back in this game. And like they has like fighting has like hitscan weapons, and the Predator don't even have like hitscan weapons to fight back. He only has projectiles. Like the fighting has the advantage in everything, like in a lot of stuff in regards to damage, just the teamwork, the abilities, the passives. So like you guys can't even win against like in an unbalanced game, like while having all the advantage against like against a leaping punching bag that gets like vertical leaps and just bump everywhere and it's easy to kill. Like it's just like that's, I mean, I'm just saying that's like the kind of weird thing about why cheating on this game. I think it's worse than like cheating or Call of Duty in like competitive games, because this game is just a silly broken game that iPhonic made just, I know, I mean they made for cash and grab, but like this is more of a game for the casual play gamers that just like Predator. This is not a game for Predator fans. This is just a game for people that like Predator. They just want to have experience close to the original Predator movie. So like it's just a silly thing that people just like playing because it has Predator. Like you have a bunch of kids that still play this game because they think it's fun because of the Predator. And the game was not made to be fair. Like when iPhonic made this game, they are just caring about what is the most fun experience for most of the players. And of course, most of the players play fighting usually alone, so that's why they had to make the fighting like more stronger than the Predator. They never thought about it in a competitive manner, which is why iPhonic never cared about properly balancing it. iPhonic never cared about it making the game like fair balance-wise. It's just like silly game. Like, it's just supposed to be like a fun experience, and they just wanted to cater to the fighting players because iPhonic has always been very fighting-sided. iPhonic, like, they never played like Predator in their live streams. They only cared about the fighting. They're just like catering to that side. I think that iPhonic in general, they are not really Predator fans. They care. They have always been like much more caring about the fighting experience in this game than the actual Predators. Despite people say, oh, about the DLCs, like there's so many Predators DLCs and why there are so few fighting as well. That's because mainly cash and grab. But balance-wise, if you look at their live streams, if you look at their comments, they're always looking for like, we balance the game around making it the most fun experience for most fighting players. That's what they say. They literally have said that, like stated that in live streams at the forum. So that's end up like how we got here. So the game was just made like has like a way for iPhonic to grab easy money from like most of the gaming base of this game, which is fighting players. And so like the game was just made for like a fun, chill, a silly asymmetrical experience. It's not made to be like fair, balanced, competitive. And people tell like, that's why like in the few times where the community actually try to make tournaments, people try to make rules about certain things to use, and even with these certain rules, people would still complain. Like it's just silly. I mean, this argument is never gonna end because it doesn't matter how much times I try to teach people about the balance of the game. I try to be more informative about how the game should actually work. Like I try, like the private matches that me and others do, we don't play with Dante, we don't play with support, we don't play with Recon, with Tracker. We try to limit the usage of like Dutch 87 classes in the match. We even started banning even like thick skin perk in some of the classes because it was just so unbalanced. So we have to do like a lot of stuff to make it fair, in our opinion. And also, I mean, only thing for the Predator is that he doesn't use the disc, but that's pretty much it. But everything else is like fair game for the Predator. Predator can do anything. That's like, and if people disagree, people say, oh no, this is unfair for the Predator to use, then well, you be the one to play as the Predator, and you show us how it's done. And usually that person that tries to play Predator in private games usually gets wrecked, and he's like, nah, I want to play fighting because it's the easier mode in the game instead, and that's like how we usually do. But back into the shitting argument here, about the people that shit on this game, just ignore those people. That's what I would say. They're just shitty people. Like, just like in any other game, like I had experience with 2 hackers today while playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As soon as I noticed what they are doing, I just left the match. Because it doesn't mean anything. Like, losing to a hacker doesn't make you a bad player, doesn't make them better. They are just shitty. They're like losers for trying to, you know, having to resort to certain things. Not only for just to have an easy win, because this might be like the only kind of win they can get in life. They can only win by hacking in this game. Like, they have like, maybe they have like a really bad shitty life. And this is like the only kind of enjoyment that they can get. The only thing they can succeed right now is just like by trying to win at any cost in a multiplayer video game by using hacks. Or some people are just bored. Some people just want to throw others online. There are a bunch of trolls in this game. Some people just want to piss others off to spark a reaction, which is why you shouldn't do it. Like, if you see people that are shitting at the game, just ignore them. Don't even waste time, energy trying to talk to them, try to tell them how much of a piece of shit they are. Like, it's not worth it. Like, it's not worth it at all. Don't try to explain people. Like, something that I did in this game that I think was a mistake was trying to teach and inform people a little too much. Some people, like, they don't want to be informed. They just have their own mindset, like, in whatever nonsense they believe. And it doesn't matter how much you try to talk to them, how much evidence you show. Like, they're never gonna learn. Some people never learn. Some people never learn, they're stuck there, so you just ignore them. Nah, just ignore these shitty people. And try to enjoy the game for what it is. Like, I know people have been talking about, like, oh, there's this guys are using the Fnatic exploit, there are guys are using speed hack. They are such a minority, just like 1-2 guys, you spot them in the lobby, just quit the match instantly. Because they don't deserve to anyone to have to play with them, you know. If you see people that are playing like that in the game, just quit instantly, leave them to play alone because they don't deserve it. And I know it's like another problem that we have in this game, that not only we have the actual hackers accusing people that don't hack of actually hacking, you know. A problem in this game is that some people started using cheats, they started to cheat at this game because they thought all the players were cheating while they are not. Like, people thought that I was cheating. I was accused of so much bad things in this game. I was accused of using aimbot, of using wall hack. What was the other things? I don't think, maybe not God mode, no, because I mean it's obvious that I take damage. But I think it was mainly aimbot and wall hack that I was mostly accused of. And also speed hack, like, come on, speed hack is so obvious, like anyone can see. Like in my video said, I don't use speed hack. Aimbot, like I miss all the time. Wall hack, I even make mistakes. I cannot know where my enemies are 100% of the time. So it's just silly. It's just like completely silly, the whole things. And people decided, like some people, because of they play with me, because of the way that I played, and they thought I was using aimbot, they thought I was using this and that. Because of those things, they started to use the exploits. Like I had a guy that decided to use the gear slot exploit, which can give you 300 gear, can be used for Sirets grenades. Like the guy started to use 300 Sirets against me because he thought I was using aimbot, or because he didn't agree with my playstyle of using plasma, of using ranger weapons. Because, you know, if the Predator is not using melee, he's actually using ranger weapons, you kind of need to have a good aim to be able to kill him. And most people don't. Like, most people that play this game are just very bad. Even fighting players, which is amazes me. Because this is a game which is a first-person shooter with, the fighting has hit-scan weapons. I mean, 90% of the weapons are hit-scan, only rocket launcher, plasma rifle, whatever, but they have hit-scan weapons, no bullet drop, you can hit the Predator from across the map. Predator doesn't have hit-scan weapons to fight back, he has projectile weapons, so the Predator is a complete disadvantage, and still people have a hard time against Predators that use ranger weapons. Because, I don't know why, but there are like so much bad players in this game, it's amazing. I never saw a game with so much bad players, and it's not about the platform, because a lot of people say, oh, the console players are just bad. No, even PC players. You have PC players that are completely brain dead, that have the worst aim that I ever saw in any other game. Like, the only game that they can actually hit something, they have a chance, is this one. If you put them to play against like other people that also have hit-scan weapons, like in a usual first-person shooter, they're gonna get wrecked. Like, they only have a chance in this game because they are fighting against a weaker opponent, which is the Predator, and most Predator players, they just use the fucking melee weapons. Like, both the fighting just have, not only their fighting weapons are strong, but like even the knife damage of the fighting is so high, you can just like destroy Predators with a knife, like unless the Predator is like using the axe or the alpha sickle. But if the Predator is using wrist plates, like even a weak fighting class can like knife the Predator to death. It's just absurd. It's just absurd how overpowered the fighting is in this game. But I mean, I have already mentioned that many times, but it feels like it's never enough, you know? Because it doesn't matter how much times I tell people, it's like they don't believe me. Like, because those people that usually don't believe me, they are the ones that never play as a Predator, so they don't get really idea of how like the balance in this game truly is. But well, to summarize, yeah, people shit in this game for many reasons that they shit on like any other game, any other multiplayer game. To win, to have an easier win, to feel good about themselves, just to troll others, to fuck around because they're bored. This is the kind of enjoyment. They just enjoy it. They just enjoy it, winning and trolling others. They don't want to lose. Like, that's pretty much it. They don't want to lose, and they don't want a fair fight. They don't want to win because they're actually earning the win. Like, a lot of people in this game, they don't know what it's like to actually earn a win. Not only in this game, but in many of the multiplayer games, they don't know what it's like to actually improve at something and be able to win over someone else because you are actually playing better. Like, you just have a better reaction time, you have a better aim, you have a better brains, you have more tactics, more strategy. They don't know what to do that. They're just a bunch of potatoes. That's pretty much it. Like, potatoes are gonna shit. They don't want to put effort in actually getting good. And people say, okay, why would you want to get good in a game like this? I don't know about you guys. I just like getting good in general in anything I do. You know? Like, it can be either this game, it can be like in another game, it can be in other first-person shooter, it can be like in a single-player game. I like to improve even in that. It can be like in Dead by Daylight, it can be in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it can be in real life. I like to improve. Like, I don't know, everybody knows that I like to go to the gym. I like training. I like to improve that. I like to improve the weight on the bar. I like to improve my appearance. I like to gain more. I like to make my arms bigger. Like, I like to lose body fat on my body. It's just fun for me. Getting good, improving at something is just fun, which is why I never had any interest in hacking or trying to cheat or trying to like just have advantage over other players, because it was boring. Like, I just enjoy the process of actually improving and getting good. So, and some people just don't. They're not like me, and I'm just different in regards to that. And well, that was my video in regards to the whole cheating hacking subject that, you know, people have been discussing this more over the past weeks on Hunting Grounds. And well, I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.